Hello and welcome to the Management Art and Science of Resource and Productivity Management. In this session, I will help you understand how to navigate around in PMI so that you can learn and adopt best practices to help, support, and guide you to increase productivity at your property. A key part of a management role is to deliver great service while minimizing waste, be it labor, food, energy, towels and linen, and so on. PMI is designed to help you perform the tasks of goal setting, execution, and monitoring more easily and with better transparency, which helps foster trust, collaboration, and accountability within a team. The homepage has an overview of all cockpits at your property, the labor departments. All text in blue has a drop-down box, and this specific user has access to 3 properties. Let's take a look at the various features available before looking at a specific cockpit. PMI Index Dashboard is designed to guide department heads on how to improve their productivity management tasks and skills. Here you find an overview of everything that impacts your index score, including what and where you are doing well, what needs to be improved, and most importantly, it tells you how to do it. This is very helpful, especially for new beginners, as it works as a learning aid, encouraging you to adopt best practice and maintain a consistently high index score, as well as being able to compare your score with your colleagues at property level and your peers at other properties. RevPolu month to date informs you how much revenue you have been able to generate per paid labor hour. Similarly, you can see what you are likely to end up with against your forecast, budget, and last year. This is where you plan, analyze, and manage your department resource hours. The weather for tomorrow, so you don't have to ask Google. It's also found throughout the various modules and reports in PMI. For now, you also have direct access to PMI release notes and FAQ from the homepage. Now let's focus on the cockpits for this property. This represents each and every labor department at the property. In this example, there are 12 departments, all from front office, housekeeping, restaurant, breakfast, kitchen, M&E, and so on. So there are 12 cockpits. So for example, the responsibility for the front office cockpit can be the front office manager, housekeeping can be the executive housekeeper, kitchen, executive chef, and so forth. A little bit about the colors. The green plus sign shows the cockpit has been updated today and is using fewer hours than forecasted month to date. And by hovering over it, you see that they have saved 0.9 hours so far. The red minus sign, the cockpit is updated, however, more hours have been used than forecasted month to date. And by hovering over it, you can see exactly how many hours. Yellow question mark, the cockpit has not been updated for today. Deadlines can vary from property to property. Best practice is that all cockpits are updated by 10 a.m. each morning. If you have a timekeeping system, ensure that you update prior to logging on to PMI so that by 10 a.m. all updated schedules are imported into PMI. If you are working with a manual schedule in PMI, ensure that the numbers are verified before working in PMI. And in this example, it is now 9:40 on a Saturday morning, so no one has been in yet to verify the figures. Let's take a closer look at a specific department, front office. In the morning, a department head would log on to PMI, check yesterday's activity, confirm the hours used, and ensure the plan for the upcoming days are in line with the activity level at the property. So looking into the future for the next few days, the yellow curve here represents the smart forecast, and that is basically how many hours the system is saying based on activity you should be using. And the blue bars represent your actual schedule. And clearly for today, Saturday, tomorrow, and the next few days, This needs to be looked at so it can be aligned. When you are happy with the changes you have made, hit save. Moving on to the benchmarking module, this allows you to compare your performance against other properties within your group, giving management and directors a bird's eye view of each property's current status. Comparisons are made on revenue and productivity. And in this example, it is an AVP that is responsible for a specific country and has 13 properties in the portfolio. The AVP is able to see what works on a department level, make comparisons, as well as share best practices between the properties. You can create productivity departments if you have several brands within a hotel group. Then you are able to compare your luxury hotels across the portfolio, for example. Or if you have 3 kitchens servicing 3 different outlets at a property, you are able to compare these as well. Portfolio perspective. This is an overview of the full portfolio of a hotel group. Its room revenue, hours, labor cost status, what it is month to date, month end, year to date, and including year end. You can make comparisons to the static forecast, budget, and last year, and the management team and head office representatives have access to this as well as the benchmarking module. Management Perspective Report is the go-to report for general managers and financial controllers. This enables them to know how the team is pacing, what they are likely to end up with, and the top actions needed to be taken in order to get there. It gives an overview of the total revenue broken down by division as well, the major controllable costs like labor and food. Rev Polu month to date is the same as on the homepage, and on the revenue side here below you find the 12 months on the books showing the revenue prospect for the hotel as per today. So this is where the hotel is today. This is what they were doing at the same time last year. This is how much was picked up last year. And if they wanted to compare the current situation to what it was last year, they are able to do so too by comparing it to the live forecast that they have in the system. And here they are able to see then month per month. And by doing so, they are able to make good decisions based on historical data and current situation. Last but not least, you are also able to view the productivity departments created in the benchmarking report. The flash report shows daily revenue. It is updated with actual numbers every morning. Future days showing the latest live forecast. This provides a detailed overview of what has been happening and what is expected for the rest of the month. The report can be sent out to department heads by your night manager as part of the night report, or you can access it yourself in PMI each morning. As in all modules in PMI, everything above the red horizontal line is past days and below is today and the rest of the upcoming month. With the appropriate user rights, you are able to change revenues and add covers by using the pencil icon. You are also able to see, for example, how many breakfast covers you did on a past day. And here you can see how you are doing month to date and what the total outcome at month end is expected to be. To enable you to plan in an optimized manner, you need to ensure the daily activity levels are predicted as accurately as possible. This is done in the live forecast. This is a rolling forecast. It can be updated as many times as needed throughout the month. These figures can also become your monthly submitted forecast. You can create, revise, and maintain live forecasts for all departments at your property, always starting with the room's forecast, as it affects most departments. PMI helps you with suggestions for daily level forecasting based on algorithms, historic data, seasonality, and weekday patterns to ensure the highest accuracy possible. This can be used by the financial controller or the general manager for example. Then you have profit and loss PMI planning, uniform system of accounts. Not all properties have this module. All the revenue comes from the live forecast. You can tailor make reports to meet your needs. Then you have the planning staff module. This enables you to review and adjust staffing to meet demand all in one screen. The goal is to reduce manual workload and make forecasting less error prone. You can import schedule hours and base salaries from an external system and forecast down to the individual staff member level. This can be used by the financial controller and the general manager, for example. Scheduling. Here you can create your schedules for all departments. You are able to create rotating schedules for the future in PMI. And this module can be used by department heads, for example. By clicking here on the 3 lines, you have full overview of all the modules you have access to. The timesheet module. This is a summary of the property's labor hours, the actual and scheduled future hours. This can be used by department heads, management team, and even human resources. Pickup statistics can be viewed as either a graph or a table. Here you are able to see and analyze the booking pattern for the various segments you have at your property and the average room rate. This can be used, for example, by revenue managers, booking, sales, hotel manager, and the general manager. All departments at a property have a budget and forecast in place. Here you have all the figures for revenue, covers, cost driver, productivity, hours, average hourly rate, and so on. This is where the department head and general manager or financial controller set the productivity goals or hours for the future months, all depending, of course, on business mix and other parameters that are considered. Segment on the books summary gives you a quick overview of your bookings on the books for a certain period. This can be used by general manager, revenue manager, your booking manager, or the front office manager, for example. Consolidation on the books is a summary of the on the books data for the entire hotel chain or group, whether you have 2 or 250 hotels in benchmarking. If not, it will look at the individual property. This can be used by head office, revenue manager, or even the front office manager. In the administration section, you have settings. When you receive your login credentials for the very first time, be sure to change the password. You are able to change the language here. And for those of you that have more than one property, here you are able to even choose the landing page you will access each time you log on. And of course, more information about our PMI app is accessible here as well. Users, here you have an overview of everyone that has access to PMI at the property. You can add a new user, and when a team member leaves the property, do not delete the user, rather disable it, as they might end up working for you again, and then you are able to reactivate them. This can be used by human resources and financial controller, for example. Advanced settings gives you access to more functionalities within PMI. This is used, for example, by the head office, financial controller, and the general manager at the property. Upload your budget, forecast, and actuals here, as well as new PMI users. This can be used by head office, financial controller, and the general manager, for example. Import status. Here you have an overview of all files imported in PMI from the source systems at your property, be it the property management system, the timekeeping system, the point of sale system, and so on. This can be viewed by all PMI users. If for some reason a file or two have not been imported, it will appear as a warning message on your homepage. If this happens, please contact your supplier directly or support@d2o.com. Mapping of accounts. This is where the revenue and occupancy data, stuff as room nights, guest nights, covers, and so on, from the various source systems is dispersed and maintained in PMI. Access to this is restricted, so only, for example, a financial controller or a revenue manager would have access. Mapping in the timekeeping system. This connects the incoming information from the TKS to the correct section in PMI. It's very important that this is set up correctly and updated accordingly, as it affects the information in your cockpits and schedule. This too has restricted access. This is our help and support section. Here you have direct access to the customer support request form. There's a documents section. Here you find all routines related to your specific property, so it's always readily available for you. PMI knowledge base, with its direct access to a library of articles and tutorial videos. FAQ, an overview of the most frequently asked questions. And here in the corner of the screen is our productivity intelligence aid, PIA. It can be moved anywhere on the page so that it's not a hindrance to you. It consists of 3 standard functions that gives you first-line support and assistance when working in PMI. Chatbot, automated PMI assistant. Ask questions as you are working in PMI and it guides you to the correct information. From here, you also have access to FAQ and knowledge base, giving you access to all the frequently asked questions, articles, and video tutorials. There are 2 more options available depending on your property's access rights, WalkMe and Live Chat. This can be used in the onboarding of your new team members, refreshers, and so on. These functionalities are activated by your BRE analyst at an additional cost. When you start to work in PMI, your focus will be on the following: forecasting accuracy on a daily level by working in the live forecast, and setting the correct monthly productivity goals for all the departments. Set goals that are challenging yet achievable, and never compromise your service levels. And by having these in place, you are able to make good, solid schedules. So remember, when you receive your PMI login credentials, change the password immediately. Start your journey by going into the various modules and explore. There are loads of interesting views and reports with various KPIs that can help you in your work. Happy learning and looking forward to assisting you on this journey. Thank you and take care.